Good evening, Jirani. I'm going to try something a little different tonight, a wireless mic. You might not have noticed, or those of you who've known me for a long time may know, but I've been hiding my Parkinson's by playing with a mic cord. I can't do that tonight. So I will tell you, about 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Kind of bummed me out. It's incurable, progressive. However, I got onto Google, I got onto YouTube, and I typed in funny Parkinson's to see what I could do with this. And sure enough, I found a comedian who'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's pretty early. She was only 50. And she came up with a list of things you could do better if you had a hand that trembled. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. So let me try that. I'll come up with my own list. So the first thing I came up with was, I could be a bartender. Specializing in James Bond martinis, shaken, not stirred. What else could I do? I could be a vending machine attendant. When that vending machine steals your money, I'll be standing next to it, getting ready to shake your money back out again. Yeah. What else could I do? I could work in a snow globe factory. Every morning I'd go and shake all the snow globes, make sure the snow still falls down. You like that? What else could I do? I could work in a morgue. Every morning I'd go in and I'd shake all the bodies, make sure they're still dead. Thank you. Let me change off to what I was going to talk about tonight. Bats. You might have noticed my hat and wondered what in the world I was wearing a bat hat for. A few weeks ago I heard a story about bats, that Israeli scientists discovered that bats argue. I thought, well, that's kind of strange. They did an experiment. They captured the sounds of 15 bats, 22 bats, 15,000 sounds. Now it turns out if you slow the sound down enough so that we can hear it, normally we can't hear it, but if you slow it down so we can hear it, it's all squeaks and clicks. So they're listening to their squeaks and clicks, trying to put in the sounds through an algorithm to see if there's any language that they could determine. And they did. They found out that one sound bats make is for echolocation, and we all know about that, right? They send sounds out so that they don't fly into things. They can hear the sound coming off the things they're flying nearby. And the other sound is communication among each other. And this is where the arguing part comes in. 60% of their communication is arguing. Now you may have had the same question that come to mind that I did. What in the world do bats argue about? So I go to Google. What do bats argue about? I love Google. So it turns out they argue about 4 things. They argue about food. They argue about space. They argue about sleeping position. And they argue about unwanted sexual advances. So I got to thinking about this. I thought, okay, food. Why in the world would they argue about food? What is there about food in a bat's life that they would argue about? I got to thinking about it. I thought, okay, so they might argue about which is the best food. They eat dates and avocados and bananas and mangoes. They might argue about where the best food is. And they might argue about keeping their food in their nest when they bring it home from the field. So you can imagine bats arguing, saying, okay, so I've got some it's a mango that I brought home, and somebody's messing with him, trying to get his mango. And he said, get away from my mango. I don't want your rabies on my mango. Don't touch it. Right. So the next thing is, where is the best food? Now I found that mango is the best place to go get my food at night. At night, because they fly around in the night and sleep in the daytime. And the next thing was space. Now, any of you who have brothers and sisters may remember sitting in the back seat of a car arguing over space. So I imagine that conversation would go something like this. Mom, he's looking at me. He's got his creepy bat eyes on me. And Mom, he's using his echolocation to find me again. Tell him to turn it off. And then the final is unwanted sexual advances. Bob, I have a headache tonight. Go away. I washed my wings this afternoon. I'm not interested in seeing you tonight. I had no idea bats had a Me Too movement. Thank you very much. I'm Carol Covin. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. I've got over 80 videos up. I'm here most Thursday nights. Thank you very much.